I want to take a minute to let you know that in conjunction with using the HVLP paint sprayer, I had protective gear on and the coveralls by Medtex and the 3M respirator type mask. It worked very well. The only time I even smelled any paint was when I started to perspire and my mask slipped a little bit, but other than that readjustment, I had no issue. Now, I do want to say that I was concerned for the coverall parts, but it has some kind of cloth-like feel to it. I was hot, I will not deny, but it was comfortable, if that makes sense. I get a little nervous when I hear loose things in a box when it's an electronic. So I don't know what these things are. I'm looking in here for some kind of a manual. I don't see. This is some kind of sieve or strainer, probably to make sure you don't get debris in your paint. Now, as far as a manual, we already know we've gotten very accustomed these days to opening up your package to find this little sheet that they call a manual. But it is really not that hard, you guys. I've never used a paint spray gun before. I've used spray cans of paint before, but never a paint sprayer, and I found it very easy to operate. They do provide you with some gloves. Okay, you guys know these little nondescript gloves they put in things, heating guns and whatnot. So here's the bigger bottle cleaner, hose cleaner little thing. I don't see the smaller one they're talking about. Maybe it's in the bag. In conjunction with the actual more permanent type filter or more longer used filter that they give that's plastic, they also provide these paper filters as well. And just look at the little pamphlet / manual they provide. They do give you a formula as to follow as to how to thin the product that you're going to use for your paint spray gun. The pipe cleaner or nozzle cleaner is on the outside of the container, whereas the little key looking tool like this and the rest of the nozzles and those little paper filters are all inside of the actual container to the spray gun. It has measurements on both sides of the container. You may want to use a Sharpie to go over those measurement marks so that you can see them easily. That being said, it does have the spray nozzle that tilts either backwards, or you can actually move it to the back or the front. It's automatically angled to help make sure that you get the maximum amount of your product out of your spray container. Okay, so inside of the container, I found this little small funnel. Whoops! It's helpful. I didn't use it, but it is helpful. Okay, so they call this little thing right here, they call this a viscosity measuring cup, number 9. So the little key thing that I saw next to the little hose cleaner thing is right here. And I do have 4 nozzles, you guys. I will show where it's attached to the sprayer, the 4th one. And the nozzle tips are different sizes, and I do believe the sprayer nozzle that I used was 1.8 millimeter size. Okay, you guys, they also give additional gasket rings. And I have, you guys, it's saying, caution, do not use textured paper or textured paint, or wallpaper. Tell me how you can use wallpaper in a spray paint gun, as this will clog the nozzle. Always remember to unplug the power cord before disposing of the spray material can. So I showed you guys the gun, and it's just like a twist and snap on right here, this area, there's grooves right here, and it's just a twist and it snaps right on. So I was, side note, getting ready to return this because I could not find the spray paint nozzle, but I found out that it was actually indeed already attached right here. So that being said, everything was good. All of the things that it said it came with, it was indeed included inside of the package. As for the knobs with the pressure of the paint and how much it actually releases and all of those things, I'll let you guys go ahead and gauge for yourself. Like I said, I am a first time user of a paint spray gun, so you have to look and see at how those things work for you. But for me, this paint sprayer did what I needed it to do. Now that I am getting ready to paint, I just want to emphasize to you guys, listen, Linda, listen. Cover everything with plastic that you cannot remove from that room. And then once you cover it, use tape to seal it well. Because if you do not, and you're spray painting a whole room, you will have off spray on areas where you do not want paint. I'm just telling you. Is after I put 20 milliliters of water and the rest paint, I stirred it for like 3 minutes just so it can have a good consistency. Just like you would if you were mixing up epoxy resin, you do it so you make sure that you got a good consistency going. And in between me filling, this is the third time I'm filling, you guys. The room I am painting is about 12 by 16, I think it is. It's 12 by 16 or 12 by 15. And I'm also doing the ceiling. And so far, this is the paint that I have used. So this is a little less than a half a gallon. This is about the consistency. It's almost like maple syrup, if that makes sense to you, like syrup. Hey you guys, so you guys can see. You guys, we're drawing to a close, so I want you to see. My husband got this big industrial light, and my son's idea, Mom, get the light. So it really did help. So thank you, son. It did help. So this part is drying. You can see these little ghosting areas. Those are wet still. But you guys, this was blue. Even though the lighting was really weird and you couldn't tell, it was like a very light, almost white blue. So it did the job. And I had to change the reservoir 5 times. I think I was getting ready to do it for the 3rd time when you saw me in the last clip. I did it twice more, so 5 times. The wall here, as you can see, there's no splotches. One tip, if I have any, is if you are not used to making or using a spray gun, they do say to kind of slightly overlap. And pretty much the same when you are dry brushing or rolling, and you know how you do it where you don't have a blunt edge, but a like feathered, sparse edge to your rolling when you're rolling on paint. And then when you apply your next, reload your brush, you start into that and work your way away from it. Kind of like that, so you don't create lines going in the same fashion. But I did mine vertically, not side to side. I did mine vertically. I felt that worked best for me. I'm at the top of cleanup, you guys. So I do want to share the one caveat that I would have to say about this spray gun is that it's a very short, I think this is only a 5-foot cord. I don't know why they do that. And it kept coming out of my industrial extension cord. So what I did is just use some paint tape so it won't be held to get it off. And that did the trick. I will say that if you have to use the bathroom or something like that, it's just to take a little bit of the actual painter's tape and go right across that so that the tip or the nozzle tip stays moist. And don't be alarmed, you do have to prime it, and it takes, when you first use it, it will take, I would say about 10 seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds for the paint to start coming through the nozzle tip. So again, the nozzle tips is for you all who have not used a spray gun. This means it is vertical, obviously. And if you turn the nozzle to the side, there's actually grooves in there. I hope this doesn't fall because it's not, it's a little precarious. This way, kind of self-explanatory. And I do believe when it's diagonal, it just means it sprays in a round pattern. So round, don't want to drop this on the table, vertical or horizontal, and then up and down obviously is vertical. And this turns freely, totally. So I don't have the other brushes and whatnot with me at hand right now because I took everything out of the room except for what I needed in here because, hey, that spray paint gets everywhere. And someone commented that, you guys, I don't know. I don't know what to answer for. It's a spray gun. And the spray gun, just think about when you use a paint can, a can of spray paint, there's going to be dust particles everywhere of the paint. So beware. This was a brand new plastic, you guys. Do you see how it looks now? You can hardly see what's underneath there. So protect everything. If you have a doubt, protect everything. So the container that I have the spray gun sitting in is just a old hand wipes container, and I kept it because I use it for this purpose. So I'm going to take the spray gun out of it and I'm going to fill it with water, and I'm going to drop all of those little attachments, the spray nozzles and the other cap that goes over inside of it, and that way it can sit there, be clean, and all I have to do is just rinse them out. And then if I don't want to use that container, I'll just rinse that out, dry it, and toss it in the recycling bin. Okay, so I was unable to get footage spray painting the ceiling because the sprayer is kind of weighty, so it would be kind of really challenging to try to hold a camera and spray paint at the same time. But what I would do is get up on a ladder and I would spray the area as far as my hand would reach or my arms would reach, and then I would make sure the edges were feathered out, get down on a ladder, reposition, and start where that feathered edge of me spray painting the ceiling ended. And then that allowed me to get a good coverage on the ceiling. The actual sprayer mechanism just snaps right onto this. And you pull this back, you see this, and it pops right off. I only have one hand working, so hold on. Sorry. So I'm going to demonstrate that once you pull this back, while holding this back and keeping it held back, you twist it clockwise this way from the gun, like this, and then pull it right out. If you can see, there's little grooves in there. So I'm going to put this down in my little paint tray too. My paint palette. I know there are those of you who will correct me in a hot second. Just have a Clorox wipe here. One of the other things you guys want to make sure, because these vent slots are really thin and they got almost completely covered up after my first single use. So just make sure to break it up. I use this, and then I went on ahead and I'm using a Clorox wipe as well as a Q-tip to clean. All in all, I just wanted to show you guys an update after the paint has, for the most part, cured. It has been about 2 weeks later. That's a snapshot of the ceiling and the wall, and I'm actually moving up, down, and I kind of moving to left to right to let you guys see that the paint has a uniform color to it. Of course, you have to get your rhythm right as to your application. But that being said, it was easy. I didn't find it difficult at all, except to say it is a bit on the heavy side, but you do what you got to do. I'm a bit seasoned and I don't paint rooms like I used to, and I knew I could not tolerate looking up using a roller to paint the ceilings, and so this did the trick. I didn't know how well it would paint the ceiling, but it did well. In fact, you guys, in my opinion, it did better. That being said, you guys check it out. HVLP 1000 watt paint spray gun that I purchased from Amazon.